The Appeals Tribunal is the highest court in the UN internal system, and what it is the UN, of course, can't be sued anywhere by treaty. So if you have a grievance internal or against the UN, there has to be a system to adjudicate it, a system of courts. And there was an old administrative system that nobody liked. It was suing your boss if you have a grievance, and your boss decided. So about 5 years ago, they appointed a Blue Ribbon International Commission to recruit judges for this new court. It's a whole new system. Our decisions are the top court, and it's binding on everybody, which wasn't the case before.
Well, explain a little bit about the process that you had to go through to become a judge on the United Nations Appeals Tribunal.
The way I got on it is I answered a one-ad. One ad said, "Judges wanted for new UN court, and send your resume to this email." And I did, thinking, gee, they want 7 people from the whole world. I'll never hear anything more from this. And about 30 days later, I got an email and said, "You're shortlisted for this. Could you come to The Hague?" And I made sure that it was on their dime, and I said, sure, I could be there.
So what countries are represented on the court?
Right now, and there'll be an election coming up, we have America, France, Uruguay, Argentina, India, and Ghana.
Any trouble communicating among all the different languages and also from judicial backgrounds?
No. There were a number of things that people thought would be a big problem. Not just language, that hasn't been a problem because the others have good enough English, and we're pretty good. But people thought that there's 4 of us from common law countries and 3 from civil law countries. And they thought, well, gee, we're going to look at things differently, and they'll be, well, it'll come out this way if you look at it as civil law issue, or if you come at common law, would come out the other way. Well, so far that has not been a problem at all. There was one major case that everybody's saying, well, the common law judges will look at it this way and the civil law judges will look at it that way. And Jean Corcelli was the author, and he said, well, I think you're going to disagree with me on this. I said, no, it comes out exactly the same way. There's a little bit different explanation in common law, but it came out exactly the same way. And we haven't had that problem at all. And we did 100 cases. We've had 1 full year, just ended. We've done 100 cases. There were no dissents on 98 cases, and there was dissent on 2 cases, both by Rose Boyko, and both really not disagreeing, but saying, wait a minute, there's an issue we need to address right now. The rest of it said it's not ripe yet. This case it won't make any difference in this case. We have to wait for one that'll make a difference. So it wasn't even any disagreement about how it's going to come out in the long run.
What have you learned from your experience in the year that you've been on the Appeals Tribunal?
Well, so far I've learned that we can get along very well. I mean, the 7 of us became very good friends. Our first session was 3 weeks in Geneva, and we all but 2 of us stayed at the same hotel. So we were, pretty far away from home, and bonded very well, and that was good. And we've had just no friction at all, and we communicate very well. And it may just be the 7 people we happen to have, but it certainly was much better than I thought.